All right, we are going to call this Economic Development Committee meeting to order here. And first part of the agenda is courtesy of the floor. If there's anybody that wishes to speak to the committee. All right, we will move on with our presentations. We have two, what I believe are going to be fantastic presentations, one from Hispanic Center Lehigh Valley, and then following them, we will have the Memorial Library of Nazareth providing a presentation. So I'd like to invite our friends from the Department of Community Economic Development first, and how you doing?
Doing well. Good afternoon, commissioners. Happy Thursday. Kicking off our EDC for the year, I'd like to bring up Joseph and Ray from the Hispanic Center Lehigh Valley. They're doing a lot of fantastic work out at Bethlehem, and I'll let them tell you guys all about it.
Right. I would like to say that I had a tour. Come on up, guys. Yeah, I had a tour of Hispanic Center Lehigh Valley a short time ago, and the programming that has been ongoing, developing, and that you all have been embarking on has been nothing short of remarkable. And I know, Joseph, I'd mentioned to you the workforce development initiatives that you were all working on. I was extremely interested in learning more about those and possibly seeing what we could do to help out down the road. So looking forward to your presentation here. I appreciated the tour, so looking forward to seeing what you have to say here.
Yes, thank you, Jeff. As it was mentioned, my name is Raymond Santiago. I'm the Executive Director of Hispanic Center Lehigh Valley. Thank you for having myself and Joseph. Joseph Marte is our Development Manager. So we both been with Hispanic Center for just over a year now, coming from different backgrounds and roles, but we've been excited to take over the helm in this new regime of the Hispanic Center Lehigh Valley to keep it going even further. So who are we? We are a nonprofit agency in South Bethlehem. We've been around since 1968. We're primarily here to serve the Hispanic and Latino population. We've been doing that for over 57 years. So we actually became the Council of Spanish-Speaking Organizations back then due to a partnership with the local Holy Infancy Church in South Bethlehem, the Puerto Rican Beneficial Society, which was a group of people that got together. They were actually former steelworkers that got together to create this beneficial society because of the influx of Puerto Ricans moving from the island to work at Bethlehem Steel. And then also the Bethlehem, what would be known kind of like the Human Relations Department at that point, got together to create the Hispanic Center. So we provide essential services that are helping people meet their basic needs. We provide services around food security through our food pantry. Our senior center helps people age in a way that's respectable and a way that they feel like they belong and are seen and valued. We have our social services department, which is the way that we can connect people to vital resources throughout the Lehigh Valley. And then also, as Jeff mentioned, we have our Workforce Development Center, which is a joint venture with St. Luke's University Health Network, Northampton Community College, L-Tri-C, and the Literacy Center, where we're trying to uplift the Latino community through their careers so they can earn higher wages and afford their basic needs and afford to live and play here in the Lehigh Valley. So our mission and our vision, it really goes down and boils down to we want to improve the quality of life of people here in the Lehigh Valley so they can become self-sufficient. I say this a lot to my staff is, yes, we are here in the community to help those in need, but truly we see that as just Band-Aids to the situation. We can get food now for people in emergency situations, but what are we going to do to uplift them personally? How are we going to break the cycle of poverty? And that's what we strive to do every day. Then when it comes to our vision, we just envision a community where there's economic opportunity and there's a place that understands that cultural diversity is certainly a strength and not a weakness. And I'll pass it over to Joseph to speak a little bit more about our programs.
First, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for having us here. Again, my name is Joseph Marte, and I'm the Development Manager at the Hispanic Center. I assist with grant writing, fundraising, partnerships, and event coordinating. First, I want to talk about our Basilio Huerta Senior Center. Honestly, every day it feels like a party going in there because they're dancing, they're having a good time, they're singing, they're doing dramas. So currently, we have a total of 72 seniors. But actively, we have 54 seniors right now that come to the center. And what that means is that they come three times a week. They are 60 years or older, and they are independent. We also served 15,000 meals last fiscal year, and that is adhering to county guidelines. A lot of the times we have different partnerships and different organizations that come to the center. So we have different workshops with insurances. We also have different vendors that come that do arts and crafts and that bring animals as well. And they do Zumba classes, they do health screenings with St. Luke's and also Lehigh Valley Health Network. One of my favorite quotes from the seniors is they've mentioned before, "When I'm here, I'm somebody. This is like my adopted family." So to me, that resonates with me a lot because I see them as like my own family, my grandparents, and it just means a lot and it comes from the heart. So this is a picture of our seniors here on the left. That was on Valentine's Day. We all dressed up in red. And then on the right was Guardian Life Organization. They came and they spoke about insurance. Next is our food pantry service. So our food pantry service has definitely seen a huge uptake in the need in the community. So this last fiscal year, we have served 742 households. The year before that, we served 605 households, and we distributed over 194,000 pounds of food. Prior to that, we distributed over, it was 130,000 pounds of food. So there's definitely been a huge need in the community for the people who need it the most. This wouldn't be possible without partnerships from Second Harvest Food Bank and also partnerships with Sam's Club. Second Harvest Food Bank, we get it every third Thursday of the month, and then Sam's Club comes every single week. So they give us fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, meats. We're also partnering with different schools. So Seventh Generation Charter School gives us any leftover fruits, breads, or anything they have that they can give to us. And then we're also partnering with local farms as well, and they give us fresh dairy. This also wouldn't be possible without our volunteers. So volunteers, they help on their own time, and they help in the food pantry, they help organize, they help pretty much set everything up so that when the participants come, they can get their fresh basket of food. And we also partner with different supermarkets, so like Shandy Supermarket in Bethlehem. They give us culturally appropriate foods such as Goya. And then this here is pretty much just helping out in the food pantry. So you can see that we have different like baskets and just things going down to the food pantry. We also have a dumbwaiter system too, so it kind of helps out with the line and just the organization of the whole food pantry in general.
I'd really quick ask a question with regard to the food pantry, because when I was taking the tour, it was very, how can I say, it was very impressive and beyond impressive, because I'm thinking as I'm going through the tour, the need that is there in the community for people to have nutritious food, nutritious meals. Are you seeing that more and more as you all continue to develop and continue with your mission? Are you seeing more people having the need within our community?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I would say there's definitely been just a huge need, just people who are needing food, even the working family, the mother and father who are just working, just making ends meet, just to come in and just have been needing the food and the resources that we provide for them. I would say so.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem.
Sorry to interrupt.
And I'd say to that also, Jeff, so just in past fiscal year, if we look at 22 to 23, 605 households we were serving through the food pantry. This past year, 23 to 24, 742 households.
Okay.
So that's been a very large increase, and over 60,000 pounds more food through our food pantry. So we were just under 200,000 pounds of food last fiscal year for us.
Okay. Because I'm worried about our nonprofits, quite frankly. I really am, because we don't know what's going to happen. I work for a nonprofit, and the information that we have been given about what may be happening with our programming in the future is very, very scary in terms of how we're going to be able to help foster youth.
Yes,
That's where I work, and that is our mission, is to help folks who need it, and that's what you are doing at Hispanic Center Lehigh Valley, and we don't know what's going to happen with certain nonprofits in terms of the funding that comes for various programs, and it's one of the reasons why I ask, because there's a need in the community, and from things that we hear in certain sectors of our government world, certain funding may be coming to an end. We don't know yet, but things have been threatened, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've been living in that reality, specifically around this workforce development program, which I'll go into now because I think
Yeah.
it all correlates. So just a little highlight over this program. So the Linguistic and Cultural Workforce Development Center launched officially in September 2023. Like I mentioned, it's a joint venture with St. Luke's. Ultimate goal is to break that cycle of poverty and provide skills to the Hispanic community that can help them grow in their careers. So it can be foundational skills like ESL, right? It can be GED. We also, for this past year and a half, have had a focus on the healthcare sector, obviously our partner St. Luke's. So through a grant we received through the former Senator Pat Brown, and a grant that was approved by Congress, but we've been waiting on, which I was mentioning, before with, we're dealing with the reality of that. We've been able to have this program, and we hope to continue it because we've engaged just in the first year over 200 people coming through for job fairs, resume workshops, mock interviewing. We've been getting people hired at local organizations. We've been working with them from the beginning to their employment, and even sometimes after that when they need help and have questions. And we've been paying for classes at NCC and L-Tri-C for phlebotomy, nurse aid. We've been paying for all the ESL classes, Literacy Center, because you may or may not know they had a fire in their building last year, so they don't have a home location right now, the Literacy Center in Allentown, but they've been able to still offer their programming at organizations like ours. So we've put over 150 people through ESL classes in the last year, which has been really vital because a lot of times that's what's holding people back from a promotion is not the understanding the English language. So we've been focusing on that this past year. We just to share a success story. So Rita Mateus is a young mother. She completed the phlebotomy training program through us and is now an employee at St. Luke's University Health Network. And she came in just not sure what she wanted to do with her life and her career. She has two very young children. And we were able to provide that guidance from the very beginning, something as simple as getting her resume ready, helping her with the process, background checks, and making sure we're taking care of that as well, buying scrubs. That is one thing that, through this workforce development program we've been able to do is to really assist people with every aspect of getting and sustaining their employment.
Really quick, I remember going on the tour and talking about various success stories. Joseph, you had told me a few, and I got that feeling that folks, they want to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. That old phrase, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but you need the bootstraps.
Yeah.
To be able to pull yourself up and get to where you want to be. And that's what you all are doing, and I thought it was pretty remarkable.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit it right on the head there. It's about just offering, removing that barrier for them, because ultimately they want better for themselves and their family, and that's what this program can do. So there, we also just shared some pictures of our last job fair, which was just under 2 weeks ago. Which you can see we had some employers out looking for talent, and that took place right at our center in Southside Bethlehem. So we're excited to, that was a really well-attended job fair. We've already confirmed some people that were hired from there, so that's exciting for us to continue that. So we look to have bi-monthly job fairs going forward. And I'll quickly highlight our social service program. This really is the first point of entry, mostly for people. They come and meet with our social service coordinator. And, I don't want to read off all the stats to you, but, just our social service department is one person, right? We're a staff of 8. But, last year she had 382 visits, right? She's assisting people with benefits, utility, shut-off notices, trying to find rental assistance, which feels like 50% of her job, people calling for rental assistance. And then, the wraparound case management services, referring people to our food pantry through workforce development, maybe to the senior center. So she does all that as well. And one success story she wanted us to share was there was a young mother facing utility shutoff, and Shelley worked with her from beginning to end on this process. And for now, temporarily, she's paying $20 a month while she can get caught up on her bills. But that small act is going to sustain that family and let them be able to stay stable in their home, right? And, they have young children, so just making sure stability is important for any child. How are you going to focus on your education if you're worrying about where where your food's coming from or if you're going to be able to live in that home. So, we're excited that we're able to help these families. Then I also just wanted to mention our Fiesta Gala is something we have every year. It's a celebration of the Hispanic culture, the Lehigh Valley, South Bethlehem, all of it. It's a way for us to just show, who we are and what we do. Our seniors perform. You see in the bottom right corner of that picture. Those are our senior center participants performing a choreography. So they actually created their own band. They book gigs. They are everywhere, really. They performed at Crayola a few months back for their employees. Like, they are a very active bunch. So we're thankful for our seniors. I'll let you take this, Joseph.
All right, so our back to school kickoff is one of my favorite events. So this is not just like any ordinary back to school event where we just give out book bags. We actually have a lot of tables lined up, and we give pretty much like a passport card to every single participant that comes through the door, and they go around collecting resources from different banks, different other organizations, and then at the end of it, they receive their book bags. But not only that, we give them food. We do face painting, we do haircuts, and we partner with different local barbers. And it was pretty awesome. Like, we served 548 individuals, but we provided 378 children with backpacks this year, and then 60 of them received haircuts. It was just like nice to see their faces, because I have nieces and everything like that, so it was just nice to see them all come together and just put a smile on their faces and get ready for the school year. So, again, just thank you again. I believe the work that we do cannot be possible without the County of Northampton. A lot of the assistance that you guys provide through Grow Norco, CDBG, the Department of Aging helps sustain our programs and ensure that operations through our food pantry and senior center are sustainable, and that we can keep expanding our programming and keep enhancing them as well. So as Ray had mentioned, we had served 742 households through our food pantry. When I first started, we had about 43 seniors, and now we're up to 54 active seniors, 72 total of them. And to me, that's a really big jump. A lot of these funds, they play a very vital role in covering expenses such as payroll to our staff, purchasing more food to stock our food pantries, and just pretty much supporting the general operations of our senior center. So again, thank you to everyone and to the committee and to just Northampton County for providing the funds to the Hispanic Center so that we can keep giving those to those in the community that need it the most. And then here is our where you can contact us at. That is my email and Ray's email as well. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where we highlight a lot of our senior center, a lot of our events going on, and also our website as well. And then that is our phone number there. So we want to open it up to any questions you guys may have for us, for Ray and I.
I was asking some questions throughout. I really don't have any more, unless there's anything you want to announce that you're working on. If there are any new initiatives or anything that you're really wanting to concentrate on, perhaps maybe in 2025. I know we're here in March, so the year is young. Do you have anything in 2025 you're really looking to push a little more?
Yeah, so I can announce for us that we are in the final stretch of a merger with Latino Leadership Alliance Lehigh Valley.
Okay.
So that's going to fall under the Hispanic Center Lehigh Valley umbrella, and we're going to now start offering college scholarships throughout the Lehigh Valley. So that merger has passed through the county, orphans court, and all that. It's just tracking down board members to finish signing.
There you go. There you go. All right. Very good. Any other committee members have any questions or comments? All right, sounds good. Thank you so much for taking the time to come down here into council chambers to provide this great presentation, and we're hoping to continue to support you in the future. I know I'll speak on behalf of myself. I'm not going to speak on behalf of the rest of the council, but the council and the county executive's office have certainly been supportive of Hispanic Center Lehigh Valley.
Absolutely.
I know I plan on continuing that in the future. So
Thank you all for your time.
Next up on the agenda is we have the Memorial Library of Nazareth. So Ms. Smith, did you have some comments here?
Good afternoon. I feel like it's been forever, right, with the holidays
A
and
while.
budgets.
Yeah.
And so we're glad to be back. I just want to give a plug. You might have gotten a tour of the Hispanic Center, but I was there on Three Kings Day. Boy, was that a party. They know how to have fun. So they're actually going to be part of our Northampton County Employee Health and Wellness Fair this year. So we're excited to have them. I get the pleasure of introducing my hometown library, Nazareth Memorial Library. Miss Holly is here as the executive director. Under her tenure, the library has really taken a front and center in the borough, forward-facing to put all kinds of programs out to the community and lots of community engagement. I'm grateful for Holly specifically because she is a good partner to us at the county and DCED. Holly is one of our members of the Digital Navigator Coalition, and we will be doing a small business educational event at the library as well in conjunction with our partnership at the Small Business Development Center at Lehigh. So I'm really grateful for Holly and all of her support and her time. So without further ado.
Thanks so much for being here, Holly. I'll also say I went on a tour recently as well. Well, I shouldn't say recently, a few months ago, of the Memorial Library of Nazareth, and the programming that I learned about was pretty incredible. So I'm looking forward to hearing what other things you have on the agenda in terms of your strategic plan and just where you're all going in the future. So feel free to take it away.
Well, thank you, Tina, for that really wonderful introduction, and thank you, Commissioner Warren, for inviting me and the opportunity to speak to all of you today. I can tend to talk, so if you want me to stop, you can just kind of go like this, because there is a lot going on in Nazareth. But I bet when you think of a library, you might come to think of some things that you've kind of experienced in your past. Maybe you think of dim-lit rooms with dusty books. Perhaps you think of stern-looking women with really tight pulled-back hair and buns with maybe glasses with a chain around it, like waiting to shush people. Well, I'm here to challenge that image today, and I hope that perhaps by the time I'm done with my presentation, you'll think of libraries, librarians, and how we serve our community in a completely different light. So I'd like to start off, I think it's important to tell you about me first, if you don't mind, because we might have this image of what librarians bring to the table. I have been the executive director at the Memorial Library of Nazareth since 2016. I started my professional career earning a master's in library science at Syracuse University. I began my professional career right out of Syracuse as a IT professional. I was a computer programmer. I became a project manager in the IT industry and later became a client relationship manager, which provided me with a great deal of business background, as well as the opportunity to earn a master's certificate in project management from Villanova University. I spent some time in IT and moved on to higher ed. While I was in higher ed, I had the opportunity to oversee an academic library and then was able to take on some opportunity in the administration of the higher education institution I was working with. During that time, I had the opportunity to pursue even more education and was able to receive another master's certificate in higher education administration from Harvard. So here I am in Nazareth somehow, out of coming from higher ed. The secret is I spent some time at home with my children. My husband and I lived in Upper Nazareth Township, and as a lover of academia, I found myself taking my children to the public library. They got to know me very well there, and before I knew it, I was a part-time reference librarian and grant writer. And when the position opened in 2016, I was really privileged to be able to hold that position as I was offered it. My husband and I live in Bushkill Township now with our 3 children, and it is quite an honor, as I think all of you would agree, to be able to serve in a community in which you live. So with that, let me tell you a little bit about our library and who we serve and how we do this. So as you can see from my slide, we're located in the heart of Nazareth Borough. Our building was gifted to us from a Nazareth family, the Trumbauers. They did not have any heirs to their family, so they gifted the library to the borough with the understanding that it had to remain in fact, a public library. So the borough actually owns our building, but we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we operate independently of the borough. We were established in 1951, and we were also established with the idea that we were to honor the veterans that had served in our community and the current military service personnel who are currently servicing our country. And we hold that very dear to our hearts, and we continue those traditions as we continue to serve our community. We are governed by a 9-member board. Those 9 members are elected by the 4 municipalities that support the library financially. 4 of my board members are actually elected board county, or they're township supervisors, so they are sitting on their township boards of supervisors as elected officials and now serve on my board as well, which is fantastic because it really promotes transparency and communication, and it gives the township a clear communication line as to where tax dollars are going and how we are servicing their residents. Our mission, as you can see, is to inspire and enrich the lives of residents in our supporting municipalities by offering valuable lifetime literacies and community-centric services. What that really means is we connect. We connect with humans. We are here to service all different types of needs and service them in many, many different ways. And hopefully my presentation will show you exactly what we do. We have a strategic plan. It was just recently adopted by our board in January. You can see that on our website. It covers not only the future of where we see our collection going and where our services are going, but it also shows you what we think about and how we plan to sustain our organization financially. It talks about how are we going to keep our building safe as a public building and how are we going to maintain this building. It also talks about the succession planning of our team, because we need to make sure that we have that sustainability moving forward. So moving along, I will share with you, I guess this is my job now. Oops, wrong way. Uh-oh, what did I do? There we go. Who do we serve? We serve approximately 30,000 people in our service area, which, as I had mentioned, is Nazareth Borough, Upper Nazareth, Lower Nazareth, and Bushkill Township. But we also serve all members in the state of Pennsylvania who have a library card from their home library that have an access sticker. An access sticker is funded through the LSTA grant through the Office of Commonwealth Libraries and provides us to be reciprocal throughout the state. So I do serve individuals that are outside of my service area, that population of 30,000. And as you can see by my graph, in Northampton County alone, I am servicing almost 2,000 people that are in other areas of Northampton County because of that access sticker. It's a very powerful tool. That access sticker also provides us with resources through the Power Library, so we can provide electronic books, we can provide databases, and a 24/7 chat librarian available to Pennsylvania librarians all the time. And that's all connected through our website and our consortium with the state. So moving along here. So what do? Well, everything is free, so please let me get that out there. It's very important to my board and to our organization that all of our services are absolutely free. We don't charge late fines. If your book is late, we do not charge late fines. We have realized, and over the course of going through COVID, that pulling down those barriers of late fines has actually increased confidence and the ability to use the library in even a greater way. Where families who may take out 15 books for their children and may forget them, instead of punishing them, we just want them to bring the library books back and get more books for their children, and that has been very, very successful. So everything I'm talking about here on this slide is free. The only thing we charge for are prints. So if you're going to print in color or black and white, obviously, that is something we charge for. Everything else is free. We have 13 public workstations, free Wi-Fi. We house a collection of items that is over 64,000 items, and it's not just books. There are a lot of non-traditional items that you may or may not realize that the library does circulate. such as hotspots. In the summer, these are very, very popular. A lot of families like to go camping, so they'll come into the library. They can borrow a hotspot for free for the week. They can take it and they can be connected, whether parents have to work or they just want to stay connected on their vacation. So it's really a fantastic service that we provide, and again, it's very popular. You'll see in my picture in the top left-hand corner, there's some bag-like things hanging on the wall there. Those are museum passes. We also circulate free museum passes to our community. We have a collection of about 12 of them, and what this allows is it allows families to go into local museums free of cost. We fund these in particular mostly through grants that we receive, and we try to highlight different organizations and museums in the Lehigh Valley, but we also try to expand so that our residents have the opportunity to get exposure in other places, such as Philadelphia. So we offer a museum pass to the Constitution Center or the New Jersey Battleship Museum. So it's just a fantastic way to spend the day at no cost of admissions to take a family of 4, and our residents truly enjoy that. There's another photo at the bottom of this slide that has kind of little lights on it. That is a Everbright wall. That was given to us via a grant. We wrote the grant specifically to address the needs of individuals in our community that may have focus attention deficit disorder, and this has become very popular. It's very unusual to see this type of technology in a public library, so we feel very fortunate to have the opportunity to provide this to our community. It is made of discs that are round that you turn, and children can make different pictures or different words, and it gives them the opportunity to have that tactile experience. I must tell you a secret, adults love it as well. Yeah, it's very special. One other electronic resource that I would like to talk to you about as I move into this next bullet point is we offer a variety of databases, as you would expect a library to do. Things that allow our patrons to access over 100 daily newspapers. They can access genealogy databases, automotive databases, and pretty much anything you think of. They can learn a language. We also offer a service called Hoopla, which is a streaming service. So individuals that can't afford to purchase Hulu or Netflix, they can use our library resources to provide those kinds of services to their family. We were seeing such a demand for Hulu in our library that a donor came to me and said, you know, I have been getting up at 1 a.m. in the morning to try to get my book or my movie, and because we have it prorated, right? So you get an amount a month and then it prorates over the monthly rate. When you're done for that day, you have exhausted your circulation. So this was something that was very passionate for this donor family. So they came, they stepped up, and they doubled our monthly budget for this particular resource, and the community is just embracing it. It is amazing to see how much of a cost savings this is for our residents that use this. Multi-district resourcing, this is new for Nazareth. We are currently resource sharing with 25 libraries, both throughout Lehigh, Northampton, and Monroe County. So on a daily basis, my patrons can access 1.4 million items through those varied libraries, and they can request a title from any one of those libraries, and it will be for them at my library within 48 hours through our delivery service. It's a truly amazing mechanism to open up so many different opportunities for my patrons, and it gives them so many more chances to kind of get new titles and try to get additional things that we can't provide right away. We have the only Nazareth Historical Archive collection in Nazareth. Certainly there are other organizations that are collecting other things such as Moravian history and so forth, but the Nazareth Library is the only organization that has been collecting and digitalizing publications and artifacts that our community and our supporting municipalities want to preserve for the future. As we're digitalizing these things, we are making them available on our website, so you can go on our website and see back issues of some of the historic publications that we have. And this is really important because as individuals may be moving out of the Nazareth area or the Lehigh Valley and find themselves in other part of the country, they can still access that history that they might remember from living there or maybe their past generations. So we're very proud of that. And as Tina mentioned, we are a partner of the Northampton County Digital Navigator Coalition. So I just wanted to tell you, and I want to share this with Tina as well, about 3 weeks ago, I had a woman come through the doors of the front doors of the library, and she had just been released from a rehab treatment. And she had one ride that she was given, and she took that ride to the public library. That should give you a really good sense of how important this community hub is for people that may just not know where to go next. She spent some time with us. We were able to connect her with some family that was in the nearby area. She certainly was able to use our phone, and we connected her with different numbers for services. But as she left, Tina, I was able to hand her a cell phone. So, through the Digital Navigation Coalition, I was able to say, I know you don't have the money to, start this right now, but you will. And it made her feel so comfortable and confident. She left in tears. And we know we've seen her since. She's doing well, but that was truly a gift. Yeah. Okay, moving along here. Oh, what did I do? I think it's me. No. Are you using the arrow? I am. Did I turn it off? I'm sorry. Maybe you have the magic touch. I spoke too much. All right, well, I'll hold it for security. Should I keep going? I don't want to hold you up, so would you like me to keep going? Yeah, sure. Okay. So beyond the bookshelves, so there are so many things we do provide, as I just alluded to, in terms of connecting with our community members, whether it's providing them with services or physical resources. And this was the slide that I had notes for, because there's so much going on at our library. Every day the parking lot is full. It's incredible. We've just had such enormous growth. And I think the biggest message I can give to you today is, you may think of Nazareth as a really specific demographic, but I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. It's changing, and we need to be able to provide services with no socioeconomic barriers to communities like Nazareth, Pennsylvania, and the surrounding communities, and those individuals in Northampton County that might have home libraries that they would rather come to us because we're providing so much. So what do? We provide, yay, it's back, 8 weeks of free tax preparation on Saturdays, starting in January all the way through the tax deadline. It is a madhouse. We have people in our library right from the minute we open till the time they stop taking those registrations. It is truly, and you'll see the picture on the right-hand corner, it's not a very good one, but it is just a community place. People are getting things done, and they're feeling good that they're accomplishing this. We do all kinds of things. We have a ukulele orchestra. I wanted to tell you about this. I know it's kind of odd. Martin Guitar in our backyard has been a tremendous grant supporter of ours. And we went to the idea that how communities can be joined together through music. They gave us 10 ukuleles, which 5 of them circulate, so people can take them home and learn how to play the instrument. And then every other week at the library, people come together, and we have a group of 20 people from age 9 to 80, and they sit in a circle, and they learn how to play music together. Talk about breaking down the age gap. And they sit there and they feel good, and it's happy. And it's community. That's what community is all about. We have summer reading. Summer reading is the busiest time of year in our library. Last year, we registered over 600 children for our children's program. We offer teen programs and adult programs throughout the entire summer. We continue on through the whole year doing so many things. We do financial workshops for teens to kind of get them educated on how credit works. We partner with Moravian College and have some of their professors come over and help us with that. We do health screenings, we do vision, we talk about osteoporosis. We also, like the last presenter, partner with Lehigh Valley Health Network and St. Luke's to offer those types of programming. We do all kinds of fun things. We have daily story times, and we offer one story time every week before the library even opens. It's a sensory story time. So families that have children that might have ADHD or attention deficits or sensory problems or challenges, I should say, they can come to the library before the library even opens for 1 hour where it's quiet, there's no distractions, they can have tactile experiences in their own way, and that has become very popular. So it's a really great program that we offer. We have also one-on-one technology appointments. So if individuals receive things, Christmas presents, birthday presents, especially our more mature patrons, and they don't know how to use them, they can come to the library and have a one-on-one conversation, and we'll teach them how to use that. I don't think I wanted to share anything else on this slide. Let's hope it works. Oh, yay, but now I think I went too far. Okay, yep, we're good. So quickly, just to show you some of our partners, these are some of the partners that we're constantly working with, trying to provide various different programs to our community. You can kind of see some of the stats here. We're open 52 weeks a year, 51 hours each week. We hosted last year over 59,000 people through our doors. We have circulated over 116,000 items in 2024. We hosted over 560 different programs, and we welcomed over 11,000 patrons to those programs. So we're working hard, and we continually reach out to our various partners so we can continue to offer as many things as possible. So our library, oh, it's doing it again. Oh, there we go. Our library support team we have 5 full-time employees. I think it's important to note, as I'm trying to challenge that image of libraries and librarians, all 5 of my staff, and I'm included in that count, we all have post-secondary degrees, and one of us holds a PhD. We bring so much different kinds of professional experience from various different genres, which helps us do all the programming and collection development that we do so well. You'll see that we have 13 part-time employees, 12 dedicated volunteers, but one of those volunteers is very, very special. And you were so kind enough as a county to recognize her in this past fall as one of the volunteers of the year in Northampton County. Brenda Reinhardt, she is a retired engineer, and she comes to the library every Thursday and is there. I get to the library around 7 in the morning. She's there by 8, and she stays till 5:30, 6 o'clock. And she helps me with everything in the building. She's taught me so much about HVAC, and it's a little too much. I can actually start the boiler myself now, but she's wonderful. And the cost savings that she is providing to our organization is just tremendous, so we're very lucky to have her. So I want to share with you some of what I'm most proud of is our milestones in excellence. So we've been a Gold Star library since 2019, and what that means is the Pennsylvania Library Association has recognized us in providing programs and services into those 5 different boxes that you see on my slide. So basic literacy, information literacy, civic and social literacy, health, and financial. Every year, we have to provide a very detailed report back to the Pennsylvania Library Association and demonstrate what we've done in those literacies. There are 3 levels. There's the bronze, the gold, and I'm sorry, the silver, so I put them in the wrong order. And every year, we've been able to meet the standard of the gold for PA Forward standard. So it's been very, very good for us. We've been named Library of the Year in 2020. There are 1,500 libraries in the state of Pennsylvania that are supported through the Office of Commonwealth Libraries. Out of those 1,500 libraries, we were named the best library of the year. I think that is a tremendous tribute, not only to the people in my building, my staff that are working, but the municipalities and the county that supports us. We were able to demonstrate in that time, as you know, we were coming out of COVID, how we continued to serve our community during that very difficult time, and the partnerships and the relationships that we grew with our municipalities because we knew it was hard for them. That's what got us recognized for this particular award. So we're very, very proud of that. We've been nominated for the last 2 years by Congresswoman Susan Wild, past Congresswoman Susan Wild, for the National Medal from the Museum and Services Institute. It is the biggest, most prestigious medal that a public library could potentially receive. 2023, we were not selected for the medal. 2024 is still in deliberation, so hopefully I will have good news for you. But to be nominated is still quite an honor, so we're very grateful for that. And then in 2023 and 2024, my staff they're blowing it out of the water. 2023, we were selected as the best basic literacy program in the state of Pennsylvania. In 2024, we were selected by the Pennsylvania Library Association as having the best teen and children program in the state of Pennsylvania. So we're very proud of what we're doing. So how does this all get funded? So we have 4 supporting municipalities. 3 of them have a non-legal contract with us. It is pretty much a handshake on how they fund us. Upper Nazareth Township has instituted a library tax. However, the municipalities of Nazareth Borough, Lower Nazareth, and Bushkill Township, they are a true partner. We have established a relationship where they know that their residents are using us and they work us into their budget, but there is no legal binding agreement there. We base our budget based on EIT percentages. We collect that data through Keystone Collections, and we work with the municipalities to have an equal distribution of what the budget is requiring. So I think that's important to know because that could affect the sustainability of public libraries. Every Pennsylvania library is actually funded in a little bit of a different way, and Nazareth does have that kind of challenge, but I will say we are very blessed to have such strong partnerships with those 3 municipalities. The Office of Commonwealth Library does provide us with a portion of our budget. It is based on a quality-based award, so every year we are required to detail all of our statistics back to the Office of Commonwealth Libraries, and they have 3 levels of subsidy grants that they give. We have been earning the highest level of a subsidy from the state since I've been director in 2016. So we're very proud of that. And certainly grassroots fundraising and grants play a large part in how we match the partnership of our municipalities. Because again, we're always trying to demonstrate to them that we're partners in this, that we aren't expecting them to come to the table, that we need to do this together. So this is what the breakdown looks like. We have a 17% contribution from our personal fundraising and grant writing initiatives. We have 68% from our municipal budget, and then the Office of Commonwealth gives the portion of 15% with an overall operating budget of about $650,000. So in terms of grant initiatives, you'll see, for a very small staff, we do all of the grant writing ourselves. We wrote 42 grants last year, and we were able to secure 23 of them. Some of those are not realized in the numbers for 2024 because they'll be coming to us in 2025. But one of the biggest is the 3 bullets that are shown on this particular slide is to replace our HVAC system. Our HVAC system has been original to the building, at least the piping and things, since 1927. So we were able to secure a Commonwealth Public Libraries grant. It's a matching grant of $250,000. And then with the help of Lisa Boscola's office, an appropriations grant of another $75,000. And then thank you so much to Northampton County for providing us with a Norco grant for another matching grant of $20,000. We are set and ready to go. The library certainly had capital reserves that we're going to be using for our matching funds and so forth, and we have received other grants to get us to that $500,000 mark. We're really excited as work is supposed to begin in about 2 weeks. So you'll see that we are continually writing grants. These are just some other partners and grants that we've been able to secure. But moving along, 2024 fundraising initiatives, again, this is all staff-run. We do everything internally. Every year, we have a Touch a Truck festival, and this is going to be the 15th year for this event. Last year, we had over 60 different vehicles displayed at Bushkill Township recreational parks. We hosted over 1,200 people at that event and raised over $15,000. It is a day that is it's really a fantastic day. The first year that I was a library director, they said, "Here you go, Holly. You have to run this Touch a Truck event." And I thought, oh my goodness, this is big. But I'll tell you what, when I got there and I saw all those first responders and police cars and small businesses all lined up together, it was a true reflection of our community, and that's what makes the day so special. Okay. And now I just want to tell you what's ahead for the Nazareth Library. And hopefully I'm starting to change your image that I described at the beginning of my presentation. But we have a lot ahead of us, and we're not going to stop. We really want to continue to be able to provide as many services to the varied demographic in our region. So as I mentioned, we are embarking on our HVAC renovation. We are really excited to get that done. And we are also looking through the funding of a private donor to install a digital sign on our property. We are currently working with Nazareth Borough and PennDOT to secure that, but a donor has come forward to pay for the totality of that project. That's important because it will allow us to communicate in other avenues other than our electronic newsletter and our social media to the community that might be passing by our building. For example, free tax services or free vision screenings and things of that nature. So hopefully we can serve more people. We do have a plan for a workforce development center. As we're going through our HVAC project, we have to demolish our basement. And you'll see in the top row of these photos that it's truly a basement. We have a lot of community programs that happen there. It's very cold and stark. So as we're demoing this area, as we have to run new venting and heating through here, we're hoping to really establish a new space for technology and small business and workforce development. The reason why we chose this project is we did a formal needs assessment of the community, and this was something that the community has asked for. The project is going to cost us about $700,000, and we're working right now to try to secure that money so we can move forward and provide that to the community. We also have some electrical problems in the library. As I mentioned, the older part of the building was built in 1927. We had a donor come forward to partially help us support a project to do a renovation of our electrical work, but we have to look for additional support, and you may have the opportunity to do that if we're going to hopefully be able to write a grant for the county to maybe help us with that really important project. And then our front doors, they were established, they were actually installed about 25 years ago, and they've really had wear and tear as all those people are coming through our front doors. We have to have Brenda working on them constantly, so they're very slow to open, and most of the times when we see somebody in a wheelchair or who's struggling, we have to go out and hold those doors for them. Even though there's an electronic door there for them, it just is more comfortable, and we just want to make sure they get in safely. So that's another project that we really want to be able to accomplish so that we can make everyone feel welcome. And that is all I had for you. Again, thank you so much for this opportunity. I don't know, do you have any questions that I could answer?
Fantastic presentation. When I was on the tour and we were going through every level of the library down to the boiler room where you were actually showing me how you would be in the boiler room having to take care of some of the HVAC issues that you were having. I was so very much like with the Hispanic Center Lehigh Valley, talking about their workforce development programming there. This workforce development center, I think, is going to be extremely important for the future of our Northampton County community. As we enter this day and age and continue to understand that the workforce changes in so many different ways, and folks, their professions will change, folks who are laid off or folks who are simply wanting a new beginning with some other profession. The Nazareth Public Library, the Memorial Library, is going to really be able to help in that regard. I would like to know what I can do or what this council can do more in terms of advancing and helping to promote the Workforce Development Center once it's operational, and once you are all getting to the point where that programming is solid, what can we do to make sure that people know about it? Because you used a phrase during your presentation, there's times when people don't know where to go. The Memorial Library of Nazareth is that hub where they can have access to so much to enhance their lives in various ways. So I'm hoping we can stay in touch down the road for sure, but I really do want to know how we're going to be able to help promote the Workforce Development Center, any workforce development programs throughout our Northampton County community.
I'll be happy to communicate that and work with you for sure.
Great.
Yeah.
Does anybody else in the committee have any questions or comments?
I most certainly do.
Uh-oh.
The library is a true asset to not only the borough, but to the municipalities. It's an extension of family. My children grew up in a library. My grandchildren now use the library. When Bria comes, she says, "Can we go to the library?" That's a wonderful thing, and that's to a tribute to you, Holly, and to your staff. So I just wanted to make that. The work that they do every day. This coming Saturday, if you want to see the cars parked all over the borough to use the library for the tax seminars. But that's not just that. It's all the time. It's active. It's never empty. And it's a cross section of the population. It's infants, toddlers, parents, grandparents, teens after school. It's truly impressive. And that's, again, a tribute to you and your staff. So thank you for being here today and giving us this presentation.
Can I just say one thing?
Absolutely.
The one thing I did fail to mention is not only do we stay in the library, we go outside of the library. So we make sure that we offer programming in all 4 of the municipalities, as well as the senior centers and things that are nearby to us. And I just wanted to mention that to you, that we're not just in that one space. We're trying to reach people in so many different ways.
And that's where I'm hoping perhaps when the Workforce Development Center it comes to fruition, that somehow those tentacles are able to go out to those municipalities that support the library, and that there's that fluid back and forth of information so that folks know that they can use the library as a resource. So again, anything we can do to help in that process, I know I definitely want to help with that. Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that is going to do it for our presentations here at the Economic Development Committee meeting. Anybody have anything else?